The man was walking to his car to retrieve a few items when another vehicle approached from the upper left. Clearly not a friendly encounter. The occupants suddenly jumped out, attempting to rob him and take his car, but they misjudged their target. The intended victim reacted immediately, confronting the attackers to defend himself and protect his property. The sudden resistance threw the robbers into disarray. In a twist of irony, the criminals failed to steal the honest man's car and instead lost their own vehicle while fleeing the scene. A real-life hero stepped in at the precise moment it mattered most, stopping an armed robbery before innocent lives were harmed. Four reckless criminals burst into a small grocery store, brandishing firearms and spreading terror among customers and staff. They demanded cash and valuables, confident that fear alone would give them control. They were wrong. One courageous man refused to submit. Acting decisively, he fought back and managed to injure one of the attackers, instantly shattering the group's confidence. Panic followed. The remaining suspects abandoned their wounded accomplice and fled the store, escaping empty-handed as the robbery collapsed in seconds. These two men chose not to work, yet expected to live off the efforts of others, spending their days planning robberies instead of earning an honest living. Beyond the loss of property, victims of such crimes often suffer lasting psychological trauma, carrying fear and anxiety long after the incident ends. But this time, their actions met firm resistance. Today may mark the last robbery they attempt. The robbers arrived in a black car, believed to be stolen, and wasted no time. Dressed in black, the two suspects sprinted toward a Land Rover, aiming to overwhelm the driver and seize control of the vehicle. But the driver was highly alert. Sensing the threat immediately, he acted proactively, confronting the attackers and stopping the attempt quickly and effectively before it could escalate. The sudden resistance triggered panic. One suspect fled instantly, abandoning his accomplice to escape on his own. What was meant to be a bold robbery quickly turned into an embarrassing spectacle. In an over-the-top attempt to look intimidating, two suspects rode a motorcycle straight into the store, swerved dramatically, and jumped off as if staging a scene from an action movie, drawing their weapons to make an impression. The performance didn't last long. Police arrived mid-act, cutting the show short. Within seconds, one of the would-be robbers was taken down and arrested, his dramatic entrance ending face-first on the floor. An elderly man had just arrived home and was backing his pickup truck into the garage when an SUV suddenly pulled in, and a group of men rushed toward him. Before the suspects could fully exit their vehicle, the homeowner recognized the threat and reacted immediately, forcing the attackers to retreat. Caught off guard by the swift response, the group abandoned their SUV and fled on foot, leaving the attempted robbery in complete disarray. The confrontation lasted only moments, but it highlighted the man's sharp situational awareness and decisive judgment in protecting himself and his property. Authorities later secured the abandoned vehicle as part of the investigation. They slipped into the garage of an apartment complex, stealing bicycles like it was a shopping spree, moving casually from one target to the next. What they didn't realize was this: every move was being watched. Upstairs, a gentleman and a young man spotted the theft unfolding on the surveillance monitor. No hesitation. They stepped into the elevator and headed straight down to confront the intruders. Then came the moment no one expected. The elevator doors opened, and out stepped the young man holding a gleaming katana. Security camera footage captures the moment two robbers tried to hold up a store, only to have their plan collapse instantly. The store owner stood his ground, responding without fear. The unexpected resistance shattered the robbers' confidence, sending them sprinting for the exit in pure panic, so rushed they nearly left their shoes behind. Moments later, they were gone, too terrified to even look back, abandoning the robbery and escaping empty-handed. A man burst into a store carrying what appeared to be a sniper-style rifle, clearly intending to carry out a robbery. But the situation flipped in an instant. The clerk calmly drew a .38 caliber pistol and aimed it directly at the suspect. The show of confidence and readiness shattered the robber's bravado on the spot. Without a word, the would-be criminal turned and fled, bolting out the door in panic and too afraid to even look back, leaving the robbery attempt behind before it could begin. A man burst into a store, brandishing a firearm and demanding money, expecting fear and compliance. Instead, the situation turned against him within seconds. During the confrontation, the suspect lost control of his weapon, and panic set in immediately. Realizing the robbery had failed, he abandoned the scene and ran for his life, escaping empty-handed.